3, 2, 1.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode 2 of T4L
TV.
T4L Show.
The T4L Show, exactly
show.
right, on
Okay.
T4L TV.
On T4L
I got it
TV.
wrong as well, I was
Yes.
getting mixed up there
Okay.
too. Welcome Stu, welcome Greg, how you going?
Hi, Joe.
I'm doing well, thanks.
That's
Very good, very good. Yourself?
Middle of term 4,
Yes.
we're over the hump I think now, so
Not
on our
long to
way
go.
down.
Close.
Absolutely.
Getting towards Christmas, so it's a great time to try out new pieces of technology with your students.
Hopefully everybody's got most of their
Slowing down
reports
a little
done.
bit at school.
Absolutely, and get them enthused because we all know
Definitely.
technology is a great engager with your students, but at the same time covering some awesome
And
And
have
it's
a
a
look at
great
some
time
new
to
tech.
try new things as well.
Get some new tech in, have a play with it, and
Yeah.
see what you could be integrating for next year.
Absolutely.
Now, you know, we're lucky. You know, we sit near Stu, so we get a sneak peek of the newsletters that pop
Oh,
out.
good.
But we're here to kind of give a wrap up about that and what's been going on, aren't we?
Definitely.
There's been a lot going on.
There has been a lot going on. So where are we going to start?
Let's go.
Well, in terms of utilisation and innovation, the team that we're all part of, we're all trying to make things better for schools and get a whole lot of new
New
tech
toys.
things happening. So we've been
Exactly.
playing in our playroom to see what new products there are available. So what things have you got here? You've got something on the table in front of you, Greg.
We do, don't we?
This is a nice little thing from Makeblock programming.
Absolutely. So it's Makeblock Neuron.
Neuron
It's
type
a
of thing.
really awesome tool.
Internet
and
of
it's a bit-
Things.
Exactly.
And it's really, really nice. Simple as doing things like plugging it in, turning the power on, and you've got something that works straight out of the box.
And this has got like a little LCD screen.
LCD
which actually
you do all
tells
sorts of
you-
things with that. This is
Yeah.
actually telling me inclination and roll and pitch.
Your-
And if you could get it close enough,
There
you're
we
not going to be able to
go,
read
very
it.
good.
But it's got a little LED display in here.
Absolutely.
You have got a myriad of inputs from buttons, soil moisture, joysticks, light
Yes.
sticks. We've got things that allow us to do LED strips. There's even where's the pump gone? Where's the pump?
Oh, here's the. Oh, it's over there.
There's the
There we
hose
go.
there.
There's the hose.
And that's the pump there, isn't
And then
it?
you've got a pump.
Fantastic.
So you could do an aquarium, you could do whatever. This is a laser, so you could actually have it photography set up.
Wow.
Besides the fact in putting these things together and making it do it straight out of the box, these are programmable. So by being able to program it, you can then start getting your what ifs and logical operations worked in and go quite a long way. There's also a camera that comes with this as well.
Yep.
So for full vision sending is an amazing little kit. And
You know,
when
Greg,
might
you're
it
jumping
appear?
down that route, but I'm also thinking of being able to capture plants growing, being able
Data,
to create
all of that
your
sort of stuff.
own
Yes,
auto-watering
definitely.
system. So this kind of tool can really reach across the curriculum. It isn't something that we've really had a chance to have a great deal of time with just yet, so it's still undergoing testing in
Definitely.
our lab. But definitely something like the Makeblock Neuron, you know, an IoT tool where you can, IoT is Internet of Things,
Yep.
so it's about connecting different components.
So as a comparison, what might be in schools now that this is similar to?
Well, a little bit like, it's like a pimped version of Little Bits.
Yep.
That's probably what I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
real
sits
pimped
somewhere
version.
between sort of Little Bits and Arduino.
Oh, yeah.
That sort
Much
of area.
easier to get into.
Because it's all magnetic and slots together nicely.
Absolutely.
But there's a huge number of sensors and actuators on it. Really
So
good.
keep your eyes peeled.
Definitely.
There'll be a on T4L Engage, and we'll come to that a little bit later on. You might see a future.tech article on the Makeblock Neuron coming really soon. Oh my gosh, everyone. Can you believe it? Since we filmed the last episode of the T4L TV show, there has been development, hasn't there, Greg?
Yes, unfortunately. But these are the sorts of things that we've got to meet.
Absolutely. So we were talking a little bit about Neuron and particularly about how you can connect it as an IoT device. And whilst it still functions really well in the majority of cases, especially with Bluetooth in an offline Wi-Fi environment, when you connect it up now, there's been some new functionality added which enables you to connect with the cloud.
Which is doing what?
So it's actually connecting up to the cloud so you can actually run even more
The moment it's got to connect to the internet, we can have some problems.
So, look, you know what? That functionality doesn't work at the moment, but Greg, I know we're going to be onto it already, chatting with Makeblock to seeing if we can make
Exactly.
it work. But there's a really good lesson here, isn't there?
Definitely. So if we've actually approved something, and we do that all the time, doesn't mean that it's going to be 100% guaranteed for the rest of its life. There will be times
exactly.
when the manufacturers change things. Now, we need to know that as well because we can't test everything all day. We get to play in here a lot, but we don't play with everything every day. And if you do find that there is something that doesn't work, that was working, let us know and we will go through that process of getting it working, especially for those things that we've approved.
Now, yeah, look, I think the word approved is something that, you know, they'd like to clarify.
Exactly.
And in terms of that, what we mean
Approved
is
with
that
a
we've
caveat.
given it a bit of a go, and we've tried to make sure that it works, or if it's a similar type of functionality to something else we've used in the past, where, you know, we're making the assumption that it works, works. So when you buy something off the catalogue or otherwise, we always recommend buying one unit first because you've got to test it in the environment, but then also test it in your school environment.
Yep.
Will it actually appeal to your kids and to your audience?
Exactly.
It may not. Buy one, test it out. If it doesn't work functionally, let us know. And it may work with your kids. You know, it may not. And then you can go ahead and buy a few more.
Good opportunity to use Yammer as well. Throw a message up on Yammer and see if anybody else is having a similar problem. If they know it works, then you're pretty much in a position where you can guarantee purchase of multiples.
But buy one. Buy one first.
Give it a go.
And I mean, Minecraft's another great example of this.
Check yourself in your own school all the time.
Exactly right, where updates come in, and we need to be aware of those. So,
Definitely.
Absolutely, that's our little update on the T4L show. Back to the real thing right now.
See you around, guys.
But we're doing a lot of other things too.
Well, that's just butting in there. That's something that's quite important because innovation is something that is happening all the time in the world of educational technologies.
Yes.
And all of those teachers out there can't do it themselves. We don't want them all reinventing the wheel. We don't want them all going out and trying things brand new that they've never.
And they
That's right, exactly.
Yeah, so
And that frustration is terrible.
That's
and when it doesn't work.
Of us vetting some of the equipment that's available and making sure that it's going to work in our environment.
Exactly.
Give them some advice on how they could potentially use it.
And we've said a number of times, if you have something that you really want to play with in your classroom and you can see educational merit with it, let us know and we can test it and get back to you with this. Yes, it does work, and if it doesn't, we'll go out of our way to see if we can make it work.
Joe, you were going to add something else.
I was, absolutely. So I was just going to say we're doing a few other things as well. So Greg's getting really in depth into screen sharing. So looking at some advice
Big project,
options
and I'll have some
around
videos for you on how to do that cost effectively
So
in your
we're talking about
schools.
wireless screen sharing?
Wireless screen sharing or
Different devices?
casting, depending on what you're doing. So basically we've got Windows to Windows, we've got iPads, Macs, Chromebooks, Android devices. So basically, I'm going
to stop you there. I'm going to stop you there because people might be going, what are you talking about? It's like if you've got a screen at the front of your room or a MoCow, isn't it?
Yep. MoCow and MLD.
And a MoCow is a
mobile computer on wheels.
Think big TV, guys, that's on wheels that you can move around.
Computer on the back.
So imagine you're a teacher in a classroom and you'd like to be able to get away from your desks. You can take any of your devices and you can wander around the classroom with your screen appearing wirelessly on your main display or MoCow up the front. That gives you the ability to be able to work with kids, still keep the class going, but do individual instruction at the same time. Really, really good way. Get away from your desk.
But as well as that, students will be able to cast
That's my main one. So you're doing PBL projects and you actually got the kids working on it. They can present from their desks to the main screens nice and easily.
Fantastic.
Or if they're working in teams, they could have their own MoCow and they could work
even there. So it gives you massive amounts of versatility. Yes.
Very exciting.
Yep,
So
really nice.
no cables to trip over.
Well, that's the main thing that's really, really cute. And I've got a little teaser in there somewhere, which is a really nice little feature as well.
The week 9.
Yep, I'll be doing some really,
We've got our fingers crossed. With all things innovation, we never know if they quite meet those deadlines, but we hope they will.
It'll be ready.
Fantastic. That's good. So definitely keep your eyes peeled.
Always.
You know what we're talking about when we say screen sharing. And we've also got a few other things going on. Drones are progressing further, so keep your ears peeled for perhaps a drones round table on education that might be coming up. And also with telepresence for those students who can't make it to school. We've just deployed a few more robots in our pilot. So it's an exciting eventuality. Make sure you keep your eyes peeled on and ears open on that. I know our new colleague Gil.
Is doing some really good work.
Gil, keep your eye out for an episode of T4L TV where Gil will be featuring really soon.
He will be appearing, won't he?
Absolutely. So that's awesome stuff going on with innovation. But let's move on. We've got so much more to cover today. And what's the next one? We're looking at
fun. Minecraft.
Well, we've already been happening. These Minecraft educational communities webcasts have been happening already. We've had a couple of them so far.
Really, really good.
And Michael Clipson's been driving those.
Amazing.
And we also have Megan Towns attending as well, and she'll be assisting us with the 21st of November event. Which
live from Coffs Harbour is where Megan will be.
Oh, very good.
That is actually this week, so hopefully that's going to occur around the same time as this.
As this show is going to be released.
But otherwise, we've got the 6th of December, which is the next episode.
Good.
And each of those have got a key focus that they'll try and cover to make it an interesting guided session.
But it's not something to be afraid of. I was actually watching the recording because you can go into the team and watch the recording of these episodes. And
that's right, they're done on Microsoft Teams.
They are, absolutely.
So we're trying all sorts of different platforms to give people exposure to different technologies as well.
And looking at it, you can implement those sort of platforms in your classroom. Yeah.
Absolutely, and it's such a community. It's not something to be afraid of. If you've got a question, it's a really great place to ask it. It isn't something that's being broadcast. It's just a community where you can go and have a chat. People can watch it again, but don't feel scared about asking a silly question because there isn't such a thing.
There are no silly questions.
Exactly.
And search for it as well, because a lot of times the answer's already there because it's already been asked.
And the reality is that there's new people joining onto Minecraft every day.
Yes.
Every day.
It's not something that it's a closed community. This is a growing community, and we need to be working with each other to help through the
There's
whole.
some very helpful people on there to help people get started.
And you know what? There's some very helpful students.
Yes.
I was out at the Invictus Games. We were really lucky and privileged to be able to go out there a few weeks ago. And we saw about 350 students. And I think 349 of them already knew how to use Minecraft. So it's certainly something, if you're thinking about using it in your classroom, if they enjoy it, can connect to the curriculum, take a look at that, that
There's
community
heaps
group.
of stuff available for you, yes.
And you don't have to be the expert.
No.
But there's people yelling at the screen, Stu. Do you know why they're yelling at the screen?
Well, firstly, one thing that they have been yelling on is the Minecraft Yammer group.
Yes,
they have been.
So that's that's where we're hearing. That's the pulse of that's the pulse of Microsoft Minecraft for Education. That we're hearing of the issues that schools have been coming up with, and that's where a lot of people have been going to get collaborative support for the product.
That's a big one. Yep.
So it's been working very well as a community, but as well as that, it's been uncovering issues as they appear. And as soon as somebody has a problem, they jump on there and let everybody else know, and other people can say, yeah, I've got the same thing. So what's the one we're going to talk about?
So what's he yelling?
Yes, they're yelling. There was an update that just happened recently. Now, the good news, we'll start with the good news. The good news is the update is completely awesome. It's edition 1.7.1 now.
Right.
And what it's got in it is instead of having to launch a separate application for the code connector, it's now located within the Minecraft Education.
Makes it much easier.
Yeah.
Right.
And you can do it from iPad now too, so that is really exciting. So definitely see if you can download that next update.
So they do have to upgrade it?
Look, it should happen automatically in the background. And there are, this is where we go from the good news to the bad news. So the bad news
Not
that
so
people...
good news.
That's right, not so good news.
Not bad,
it's
but
actually
just not so
a really good story
Yeah.
because Michael Clipsham has been doing some great work in the background.
Yep.
And he's been working with the global team from Minecraft, so over at Microsoft. They jumped on this issue when they saw there was a problem, and they've helped Michael out, and they've worked out a solution so that once again Minecraft is functioning within our environment without any
Very
issues.
quick to react to any problems, aren't they? That's what's
They
good.
are.
Yeah.
Well, we're one of their biggest combined communities out there that are all under one
That are actually being
domain.
used.
Yeah, so
that's a big difference.
That makes a huge difference for them to be able to verify problems that have been identified out in the field, because when they see multiple people having the same thing from the same organisation, that prompts them into action to fix it.
Now, the issue they actually experienced was when your students logged in, they came up with a big error screen letting them know they were unauthorised. And so that shouldn't happen when you upgrade to the latest version. Now, if you do try to go through the Microsoft Store to download the update, and you just go to the update section of the Microsoft Store to do that, some people are experiencing issues actually getting to the Microsoft Store when they've updated to the latest version of Windows, so 1709, which we'll talk about later. But never fear, we know about the problem. The teams here are working really hard to solve it. So all I can do is say the good news is going to get even better when all this is resolved. But just be patient for us whilst we work through those solutions.
But keep talking on the Yammer community.
Yeah, jump there. That's where the solution will be proposed.
Exactly.
So what I do in these kind of things, I make sure I jump onto the community, find the conversation, and then I follow it.
Yeah.
And when I do that, then I know when the next update's
that's
coming.
right.
So absolutely. All right. So
Fast
fast fact. It's over to Stu.
Go.
Technology for learning. Fast fact.
We've been doing these for the past few videos that we've done. It's good to keep an eye on the progress of Windows 10.
Those figures are amazing.
Oh my
So
God.
if you remember a couple of weeks ago when we did the first episode, it was 252,000. So we jumped up 264,000.
Wow.
12,000.
That's
in a couple of weeks.
unbelievable.
But the bigger number is up the top there, where we jumped from 19,000 Windows 10
Double.
1709s to over 39,000.
That is huge.
You know what?
Yeah.
I think a lot of them have been sneaking onto our YouTube channel and they've been watching Greg and Megan's episode of T4L TV.
Yeah.
That's something
got
we'll
some
have a
really
look
good
at.
reception from that.
There's been a bunch of new
Yes.
T4L TV videos, and we'll look at those shortly.
Yes.
But the 1709, those bigger numbers are obviously coming in because people are building their brand new T4L rollout.
So we're getting extras in there.
That right.
That
But
makes
not
sense.
entirely the whole
So
picture, is it? No.
the fleet just keeps growing.
Yes.
Schools just don't get rid of their old computers.
No, they
and
don't.
They keep getting new ones.
Fantastic.
And they all
But that's really, really good
Such
to
a
see.
good story because there's
Like
so
over
many
a quarter of a
reasons to
million.
upgrade.
Amazing.
But that
That's
number down the
right.
bottom right there, that represents every single school that's E-T4L in New South Wales.
Oh wow! So we should have 100% put into that box. Fantastic!
amazing.
Well done, Stu. You know it's great that everyone knows about this and is thinking about upgrading. And that is just such a good news story.
The problem is,
Uh-oh.
we still have a very large number of schools that have Windows 7 on their computers.
Please
What?
upgrade, people.
Why have they got Windows 7? There's a thought that SAP doesn't run on it, or that EBS4 doesn't run on it, so the front office doesn't want to upgrade. They've been thoroughly tested. They do
It all
run
works.
on Windows
It
10.
all
They do run on
works.
Windows
No
10
fear.
1709.
Yep.
And we do need to get people off Windows 7 because Microsoft aren't producing security updates anymore.
Not at all. Yep.
So these are insecure devices that we're talking
Whoa.
about, and we need to get those up to Windows 10.
Definitely
sooner
upgrade
rather
to
than later.
10 for that very reason.
Oh my gosh. Obviously, Stu, we film this episode of the T4L Show on a Friday afternoon. So we have got errata number 2. And what's this one all about?
Well, Windows 7 was the thing that we were talking about and upgrading to Windows 10.
Absolutely. Great idea.
There are a couple of issues that we need to clarify for people. So SAMs and school admin managers are very much invested in the SAP platform,
Oh,
EBS
yeah. A
Central,
legacy platform, as they
LMBR.
call them.
Yeah,
Yep.
and a lot of them are under the impression that you have to be running on Windows 7
Yes,
to be
I've heard
compatible
that
with that.
rumour. Yeah.
We did extensive testing with the SAP team, with the LMBR team, to make sure that Windows 10 works. And Windows 10 1607, which is the older version of Windows 10, does work with those two
Oh, great.
products,
Yep.
as does Windows 10 1709.
I was waiting for the it doesn't work with
No,
1709.
it definitely
Okay.
does. So for those SAMs and admin staff who want to move to the new platform,
Proceed with confidence.
You can do that with confidence. Absolutely.
Fantastic. But there was
But
another thing, wasn't there?
Well, there are some changes with people who are very comfortable with Windows 7 are going to find Windows 10 slightly different. So you may want to do it on one or two machines and try it out and get everybody comfortable with it before you move the rest of the front office over.
Great idea. That's a fantastic idea.
The other issue is Windows 7 itself and its status currently with security updates.
Oh, they're ending, aren't they?
Well, they are ending, yeah. They haven't actually ended. The mainstream support for Windows 7 ceased in 2015. So that was quite a few years ago. But Microsoft have still been delivering security updates and will continue to do so until 2020 or January 2020.
Okay.
So we do
A little bit
need
more
to,
time
we've got a little bit
left
more time
yet.
to get the Windows 7 across to Windows 10. But the department would like everybody to move to Windows 10 and particularly to 1709 as soon as possible, because Windows 10 1709 is the stepping stone that we're going to have to newer versions of Windows 10 and also to newer versions of Microsoft Office. So we're going to be able to deploy those products slightly differently. They'll be in-place upgrades, so we're not needing to rebuild the computer each time.
Oh my gosh, it sounds like a huge time
So
saver.
there'll be major improvements, and you won't lose all your desktop and your Word and your My Documents and those sorts of things.
So
that
if you're
that you do
planning,
when you're
there's no urgency, but look, let's start to do it so that by the end of next year you really have rolled over every single thing at the absolute latest.
yeah, that
over the
would
Windows 10.
be the drop dead date.
Yeah.
We definitely would need to have
Got
that
a
happen.
Christmas
But
holiday thing.
that's the thing. You've got slowing down towards the end of this year.
Yeah.
Definitely get all those computers that students use across the
Definitely.
1709.
You
There's
want
no
those cool
risk
learning
involved in
things.
those. Let's
Yeah.
get them across
Yeah.
and start working on individual staff computers. Get the people comfortable with using Windows 10 1709, and then progressively get the rest of those happening during 2019.
Fantastic, Stu. This has been a really good little update. Thanks, everyone. We promise no more updates for this issue. We'll see you on the next edition of a T4L show in a few weeks' time. Thanks, Stu.
Bye.
There are a few of our devices that will not upgrade, though.
There are,
isn't there?
absolutely right. So anything that was a pure 32-bit Windows 7 device is not going to upgrade. So we do have, I think there's around about 20,000 out of the 60 or so thousand.
Have you got the model numbers or something for those?
Sevens, I don't have them off the top
So
of my head. But
when
will
people
show up and say
say
it can't do it.
32-bit, what on earth does that mean?
Good question from
What
Joe,
it-
as
what it
per
means,
usual.
sorry.
what it means is it's really old.
Really old.
Really old. Okay.
So how many years are we looking about?
Seven,
So
8.
if you've got a device that's 7 years
7,
or
8 years old.
older,
Get a little bit worried.
it more than likely will not be able to handle
Okay.
Windows 10.
We most of them will. Most of them will handle the 64-bit, but there are some really old ones there that.
I'd actually argue it's probably older than 7 years.
and it
but
it really shouldn't still be on the network. They're
True.
not really reliable.
Yeah.
So it's all to do with
Some-
the makeup of your device. You have a 32-bit or you double that and you have a 64-bit.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Something
So
like that.
Yeah.
most computers are 64-bit these days. I don't know why.
They're all 64-bit. Yes, you got that right. Well done.
These days,
They're all 64-bit,
yeah,
yes.
they've been
That's
64-bit for a long time.
So if they're 32-bit, you maybe need to go and look up Neverware like we were talking about on
Yeah,
last
another
yeah.
option,
episode.
Very good option for that
And make it a
20,000.
Chromebook, but otherwise you need to upgrade to Windows 10 because it should run faster on Windows 10.
You'll need to put a link about
Windows 7.
Neverware underneath this for them. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we can do that.
That'd be
And
good,
it's
yep.
In the last
Yeah.
Yeah,
newsletter.
Lawrence
as
will be
well.
able to put that on.
All right.
Excellent. What have we got now?
Okie dokie. Greg, we're
is
a bit
brilliant.
excited about this, Stu.
How long has this been coming?
I know.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely. Quite a few months.
Let's go.
But the procurement team
Huge
has done
amount
a
of
really
work. Joe
great
has
job.
done an amazing amount of work to really drive this with procurement, and it's happened so much faster than any other time. So
We
it's
have
been
the
brilliant.
STEMShare team have done a great job on
Yes.
this as well. They
Really,
really,
really good.
pushed it out there. They're producing some great resources on how to get access to.
Which is one of the major points with STEMShare, isn't
That's
it? The
it.
PL
And we're
support.
not just talking about adding 1 or 2 products on.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
This
It's
is
hundreds.
thousands.
Yeah.
I see. No, it's
Yeah, it's
thousands. We
thousands.
know. We've
It's
looked
thousands.
at them. Both of us have looked at
Yikes.
them.
Yeah, so this is not just STEMShare kits. What it is, it's a STEM e-catalog.
Yep.
So basically what we're saying is if you want to purchase STEM gear,
Yeah,
you used to have
you
to go
can.
to external catalogues, but
Yeah.
now they've been brought into
And
the
now you're looking at the
internal
catalogue. It's lovely.
And you'll see a graphic that'll show you where to go. So you jump into your catalogue as usual, hit
Yep.
on catalogues, and you'll notice there's a brand new category called STEM and
Yeah.
Makerspace. And if you have got a really awesome STEMShare kit, and you're going, I really just want to buy the same thing.
You can get the whole kit, can't you?
Absolutely.
Yes.
So that's the bottom one on the list. there,
STEMShare community
That's
kits,
it.
that will reflect.
Yeah.
What don't you get with the kit that you would have seen when it came out to you? Though?
Ah, good question. You don't actually get the computers or you don't get the iPads. So those won't actually be inside
get the box?
boxes. Oh yeah, you don't get the box
You
either.
don't get the
Oh my
box
gosh.
either.
Who got the box? Who
By
bought
the box, meaning the big black Pelican
Yeah.
case. You
If you-
actually
Which,
don't
which is
get
what we
that.
need to ship them around the States.
Yeah, and that's why we've got them in
But
big
once
boxes.
you've bought them, that's not really a requirement anymore,
No,
is it?
no.
No, you need a Makerspace trolley. One of those
Yes,
built-on
yes,
Makerspace
yes.
trolleys with all the things you can charge.
Again,
them.
jump on the catalogue. Office
Yeah.
Max.
And
Office Max has got
and
them.
as well as that, the kits tend to be for a specific number, and that may not suit the school's requirements.
Exactly.
They might want less, they might want more,
Exactly.
and they can choose
individual
selectively, yeah.
items. So we also realise that schools won't just want to buy what's on the STEMShare community in the STEMShare community kits. So there are lots of other makerspace.
That was one of our
robotics,
main mandates,
filming
wasn't it? We
tools.
wanted you to have more choice
Yeah.
than just the kits.
Now this catalogue will be growing over time, so it'll be reviewed
So we might see
every
these on
quarter.
there?
Absolutely.
They'll be coming on
You
there
might
soon.
see those
Actually,
on there
you
soon.
can already get them on there, do they?
I think
go.
you
They
can.
are,
Exactly
yes,
right.
they are already
which is,
available.
which is good. So they're available. Naturally, we haven't fully tested them to find out the awesomeness of the product and released an edition of Future Tech.
Awesome.
We do like them, but that'll be coming soon. Now, if people do have difficulty, they can't find the product that they're after, because there are some that aren't listed on the catalogue just yet. You can email the team at the STEMShare Communities team. So
Yep.
it's STEMShare at
det.nsw.edu.au. Yeah.
That's it. So get in touch with the team there, and they'll be able to help you out. So
Very good.
jump on. That's for sure. Oh, what are we looking at here now, Stu? There's
This is
been
very
news
different.
going
This
on,
is
hasn't
new.
there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've had a few schools that have tried to purchase, say, the HP Advanced laptop, the Elite Desk 840
Right.
Ooh,
G3.
that nice, powerful
Yeah.
machine.
Nice
Absolutely.
laptop, and
Yep.
HP have been unable to deliver. It's
What?
been sitting on back order for quite a while.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
And schools get frustrated.
Very much
People
so.
get frustrated. Why isn't my device being delivered that I ordered, or
Yep.
my stack of my classroom set of
Yeah.
devices, or whatever it might be? Some people have bought Mocows and wanting the
That's a
HP,
big one that I'm involved with
Mini.
The
directly.
little
yes.
tiny HP that doesn't have a
They haven't
screen.
been able to get it. Well, this is the
Yep.
reason is that there's actually a worldwide CPU shortage
Whoa.
From Intel.
Intel.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So none of the
Intel-
manufacturers can supply.
Yeah, so Dell, HP, Lenovo,
Wow.
all the big
big players,
box suppliers have been struggling to provide hardware to
That's
all of their
such
customers.
an interesting thing,
around the
isn't
world.
it, Stu? Because I wonder if it's because people are now after devices that have got a little bit more grunt and they want to
Definitely.
do more with them. So that wasn't anticipated by Intel.
What Intel is saying is that as more and more people have jumped onto Windows 10, they've taken that point to jump onto Windows 10 on a new device.
Yes.
Right.
So they're buying masses of new devices, and it
They just can't keep up.
Organisations.
They simply can't keep
Or
up.
because they no longer
Grew
support
so
Windows
rapidly,
7
Yeah.
with security updates.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's so interesting, isn't it?
So that's
Becoming
been
much
a
more
key
aware.
driver of it, and we've got a situation now where Intel is saying that it's going to take several months for them to catch up and be able to ship a lot of the CPUs that we
gosh.
require for the devices
Definitely.
that are available in our catalogue.
So supreme apologies, I think. is all we
Definitely.
can
So
say.
those of you that have got MoCo orders at the moment in, because that's one of the big areas that I've been working with, you will have to wait, unfortunately, a little while
Okay.
and be patient with them delivering. I know that I've got somewhere between 200 and 300 of them that are out there to be ordered, so it's a lot. And I'm about to introduce the MLDs and put them on as well, which has
Gosh.
also got the HP Mini. So please be patient. Worst case scenario, you may be waiting until the beginning of next year. That is the worst case. I do have some things in the pipeline that I'm hoping will get us over the line prior to that. But basically, watch this space. As
We
soon
need
as I've
to
got
get
some
the people
decent
from Intel
information,
working over the
I'll
holidays.
put it on Yammer as well and make sure that we've got that up there.
The specific products that we're currently out of stock of, the HP Mini,
HP Mini,
the Elite Desk 840 G3,
yes.
the HP ProBook 430, which is the intermediate one. It wasn't on the
Yeah.
rollout.
Yeah.
It's the intermediate one in the discretionary purchase. And then the Chromebook and the X360, the little red one. They're both very short on stock. So
Yes.
they do have some stock left now, but they're actually going to run out probably before the end
Very
of the year.
quickly,
So order now if you want one, and you may well get one.
You may
Otherwise, you might have to
Be
wait till the start
sort
of
of
the year.
laptop notebook chipsets is what it's doing, and
Correct.
everybody's
And-
making this choice because last time you showed we had a swing for the first time. Notebooks
Yeah,
outweighed the
correct.
desktop, so it's that chipset, and they just
So
obviously haven't read the market.
mobility,
The point that you
Power,
just made is
Windows
exactly
10.
right, because there are plenty of stocks of both the ProDesk and the Elite.
Heaps of the desktops, but nobody wants a
Desktops.
desktop. They want
Oh my
laptops.
gosh,
Yes,
absolutely.
and that's that form factor. The small form factor uses those components.
That's right. Yeah, we
Excellent.
all want
What have we
that.
got now?
So what we're looking at next is a big part of what we like to do here is we know that there are so many schools out there and so many teachers and students doing amazing things with technology in the classroom. We really want to hear about it.
Exactly.
And we want to share that knowledge back with everybody else so that we grow the community of people doing awesome things with technology.
Yeah, so there's two factors to this. We produce a whole lot of fact sheets about specific new products.
Yep.
We do.
Which we call Future Tech.
Yeah.
And
Neuron.
Future
Neuron,
Tech
yep.
focuses on a new product. So we've done ones on little bits. We've done ones on various
Absolutely.
various other
Microbits,
products, yeah,
all
all
different
sorts.
types of products.
all different things.
Yep.
But as well as that, we like to try and capture those positive stories, those great things that are happening in our schools.
Out in the schools, yeah.
Where they're
Exactly.
using this tech, where they're making a difference in the classroom, where kids are teaching, where kids are learning using the technology
Exactly.
effectively,
Really, really
and where
good
kids
stuff.
are teaching using the
From
technology.
Glenwood High School recently?
Yes.
Glenwood High School was
one?
recent. There's
Yeah.
Urunga Public School. There were quite a few of them that have been published,
Yeah.
and they're all up on T4L Engage. So if you go up to tinyurl.com/T4L Engage, you'll be able to get all of
Absolutely.
the previous
And there are
Future
some
Tech
amazing
pages
things happening out in
and all
schools,
the
isn't
future,
there?
future stories.
Really is
So the
boring.
future stories are ones that we curate, that we actually go about and we try and work with the school to help us or to help them to produce
Tell
something
their story.
to tell their story.
Absolutely,
Exactly right.
and I think we're doing video here now.
Yeah.
We'd probably like to capture a little bit of video as well about
Yes.
what they're doing
Well,
too.
we're certainly looking
Definitely.
at integrating videos into future
Yeah.
copies of future stories. And we've got a couple of schools already lined up, and
We do.
and
Exactly.
they'll be coming out with their stories fairly shortly. But we
Yeah.
definitely want to hear about any school that's out there
Exactly.
who are doing some amazing things. So if you just email T4L News at det.nsw.edu.au and tell us what your story is, I'll put you in touch with all of the team
Fantastic.
here in
We'll try and do
innovations and
all the schools that get in
utilisation.
contact with us if we can. Yes,
Absolutely.
definitely.
Sounds like
Because-
a plan.
When we know that there's a school doing great things, we should be capturing that. We should be sharing
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
it means that other schools aren't reinventing the wheels. It means that they can take a model and
I was thinking
take
about
it for
that,
themselves.
and they're doing it, and it works. Let's dive in.
Absolutely.
Yes, that's what you're trying
And
to
you
encourage.
all are. If you're thinking out there that you're not doing amazing things, more
You
than
are.
likely you are.
You
So
definitely
please
are.
make sure you let us know.
And there's plenty of stories from schools around the world. We always hear about great things out of the UK, and
Oh.
out of Finland, and
gotta
out
be
of the
kidding me.
doing
United
good stuff
States.
here.
We've got our own schools.
Absolutely.
We can showcase those as
Definitely.
best we can,
Some
so
stories
that
there.
we know that other schools are taking advantage of the skills that have been developed already.
Which
Definitely.
actually brings up a really good point because they will feature on T4L
TV. Yes.
which is what we're talking about next.
Yeah, so we moved away, if you remember, at the end of last term from T4L Watch Live, where we were doing the webcasts that were live, and we moved into T4L TV, which is our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we're doing a whole lot of different content. Content that is like what we're doing now,
Yep,
the T4L
pretty ad
Show,
hoc,
where
yes.
we're just
Absolutely.
recapping and telling our story and the sorts of things that we'd like to see happen. But as well as that, we've got interviews that have happened, interviews
Absolutely.
with the chairman or the CEO of Neverwhere, for example.
Yes.
We had the
That'll
one
be a
with
good one.
students
The
who were actually
student-
interviewing
absolutely.
the
Greystanes High
creator of
School.
Scratch.
Yes.
Two great students from
Mitch Resnick. Yep.
Greystanes High School.
So
That was
worth
a
it.
really good
a,
interview.
yeah,
Yep.
an interview with Mitch Resnick.
Absolutely.
That was pretty amazing.
That was amazing.
And all up on our channel.
They're
Go-
all up on our channel.
Go up and have a look. We did a demonstration of how Google Sites would work in a classroom.
It was a really good one, Stu. I remember watching that one myself.
Mm-hmm.
I learned a whole heap about the new features
That's
of Google
exactly right.
Sites.
Yeah.
Because the old sites was getting a little bit clunky.
And you
That
need to
one's really
revisit it every
good.
now and then just to
Yeah.
refresh yourself.
All of this stuff that's up in the cloud changes so rapidly, and
Yep.
if you don't keep up with it,
Exactly.
you'll miss out.
Yeah, you miss out on good stuff because it's like drag and drop, and there's so many cool bits you can add in.
And a lot of this thing,
Worth
you just
looking
have to
at.
introduce it to the kids. You don't actually have to know it that well. The kids will
no.
spin off on these things so quickly.
Show Kim and Stu.
Yeah.
to
Have
the
a look
kids.
at this.
Exactly.
They will
So
run with
Kim,
it. They're
Kim
amazing.
helped us out from Google.
Absolutely.
As well as that, Megan came in and spoke to Greg.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
They were really, really good.
Oh, and there's two. I mean, we all know that when you get Megan and Greg in a room, they're never going to stop talking. So you do
They
have
are
to
a
put
little
aside
long.
about an
yeah.
hour.
Find out the good
but-
points. Mark them. Bookmark the spot in the timeline.
Download them, watch them on your commute. Now, these are also
they're great shows.
excitingly, they are great shows. They really are. Actually, I watched that one as well, and I walked away thinking, wow, there's so much I learn about Windows 10.
I learned so much just sitting here with Megan on that day too. It was great.
Yeah.
It was really good.
You can't
And-
help but learn with her.
Oh God, no! You've got to be a sponge when you sit next to her. Suck it all in.
So excited. You were so excited. It's fantastic. Now, don't forget, these are all available as a podcast as well, so if people want to go and grab those too. So on SoundCloud, search for T4L, or in your Apple Podcasts, you can also do a search for T4L and you'll locate
really
the
good.
podcasts.
Something to listen to on the train.
That's right. Some are good for
Definitely.
listening, some aren't. The interviews aren't too bad to listen to.
Especially the visual
But,
ones might be a bit hard to listen to.
Yeah, watch them on YouTube. Exactly right, exactly right.
So we'll be adding more and more content throughout the rest of the term and into next year.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
look to ramp it up a little bit and get
Yes.
some specialist video people.
That's right.
Yes. New resources coming in.
Maybe you'll see
Excellent.
some really good, interesting shots. You never know. We'll
Might
see.
make us even a bit more
Animated
professional.
stuff, all sorts of
I think we're pretty professional.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting
on.
there. We've got to have some
Absolutely.
bloopers.
That's right. That's right. We're not professional, but the crew is professional.
Hopefully everybody's enjoying what we get up to because we're trying to help out.
That's right. Okay, so
Now, what
if
events
you
are coming up?
We've got some great events.
Yes.
Now, whilst when this show goes to air, more than likely, Greg, you and I will be up on the North Coast.
We'll be
We'll be
Coffs
in
Harbour
Coffs Harbour or in
Alstonville. Yep.
And so we've got this new thing that we're doing called the T4L Power Up. And what we realised is that we're giving out all these devices, but sometimes people, aren't too sure about how to get the most out of them.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, come to this session. You may not have even pushed the power button before, that you probably have.
Yeah,
And
hope
you
so.
can come and learn some awesome new things about either Apple, Google, or Microsoft technology.
So it's a deep dive into one of those,
Absolutely.
right? Rather than like Interacted, which covers a whole
Yeah,
range
Yeah.
of
broad
different
things, STEMShare and those things.
So this is focusing, like if it's Google, you're focusing on G Suite, on Google Classroom, on
And
things
you are
like Chromebooks.
powering
Yes,
up.
All those sorts of
Yes.
stuff.
absolutely.
the
Windows
word
is
literally,
focused
yes.
on 1709
Yeah.
and the new things you can do. Apple is focused around at the moment, looking at how you get the most out of your iPad, but also the really new everyone can create resources.
That create
all those
resources,
we talked
amazing.
about
Yeah.
last time.
They're really amazing.
Amazing.
So, look, we've got 3 events. Elstonville today or tomorrow, if you're watching now, 22nd of
Yes.
November. So sign up, come along, we want to see you. DoE here at ATP,
Right here.
which is you get to look at the great view like we do every day. Come
Yes.
here and see us here in the CBD.
13th of December.
And then, yes, on the Scarf Development Day, we've got one going as well. So at Mount Ousley, if you have already done your staff development days or the rest of your staff have and you're on your own for that day and you need to suggest something to your principal about where you might want to go,
Maybe you're
come
a
to
school
us.
near Mount Ousley and you want to send a few staff to it.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
All your
Really good
staff,
for all the
come
people around
along.
Wollongong Way. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Is the school development day sorted?
Perfect.
Exactly. So we're running them this year. We're hopefully going to plan some more for next year as well in other regional centres and metro locations.
Well, you see the little map that's on the screen there. That's New South Wales. It's got 1, 2, and 3.
Let's see if we can
Very
make that
good.
red.
Yeah, well,
That's the idea, isn't it?
Exactly.
We'll try and make the blue New South Wales red.
That's it. And look, we've done a lot of Western and we've done a lot of Northern this year. So if you're down south, don't worry, we will be bringing you the love next year.
Definitely.
That's our plans for term
Yeah.
1. So at the moment.
Definitely.
So absolutely. Good stuff coming up. And there's also another event happening here, and that is the week after next.
So this is the second Sandpit
Yes.
that we're running. So
Yeah.
the first one was back in September, and a whole heap of people came after
It
school
was really well
on a
described
Friday.
too, yes.
Unbelievable.
And,
Friday afternoon.
Yeah, we had all of the gear set up in different stations.
STEMShare, T4L, all of our vendor partners.
Vendors are all here.
So we've
And
got Microsoft, everybody coming.
Absolutely,
Beautiful.
we do. And this time we've actually got even more because we're going to have some of our mocals on display,
Yeah.
aren't we? So
Yeah,
the
we've
mobile
got
computers
all-
on wheels.
From at the moment, it looks like we'll pretty much have all of the vendors with their displays.
great.
They can actually talk to the people who are actually going to help at installing, working with you with your devices.
One of the biggest,
and you can have a bit of a whinge too.
one of
if
the
you have
most
to.
common questions that I see on Yammer is, we've got our orange Sanyo projectors
Yes.
and the whiteboard,
Yeah.
and we want to replace it. What do we replace it with when there's
Exactly.
6 or 7 different products that are on the catalogue?
Yep.
Which LED panel do we go for? Which is the one that's going to work best in our environment?
Exactly.
And
This is where you can actually see
you
them,
that
touch them,
opportunity.
play with them, and work out which one you like.
yeah,
And I know a lot of times people email us or, so they want to come up and have a look and see the space here. And we sometimes don't have the time or availability to do
We
that.
will try and make it though, yeah.
But what we're actually saying now is we're saying
Come to the
don't
Sandpit.
come at those times because we might have to rush you. But if you come at this time, you've got 3 hours to just come and chat.
And the other good
in a
thing is
casual
you'll probably end up
nature.
being able to have a discussion with another teacher from another school who may have that and has
Oh, it's a
the
perfect-
good,
Absolutely.
bad. They'll give you the
Perfect
story on
networking
how it
opportunity.
works. This is
Yeah.
when networking. We don't do that well as teachers, but this is the perfect opportunity to
Absolutely.
start. Come to the Sandpit, it'll be great fun.
No presentations, nothing formal.
Totally.
Sign up so we have some catering for you. It'll be
Few
things
munchies.
like Scotch finger biscuits and a cup of coffee.
Of course, Joe likes them.
I do. I can't believe you can get Scotch finger biscuits in a
Can you
little
get
mini
minis
packet
now? They're really cute.
I know. No. Do
Come on,
not
we're gonna get
buy
the
a
minis.
plastic mini. You're not allowed to. Okay, all right. So, let's move on.
Yes, next.
Okay, I think we're there.
We're at the end already.
But you know what people have got to do as they're watching this? What do they have to do, Stu, as they're watching our episode?
well, I think if they like it, then they should like it.
Hopefully.
Thumbs up.
If
Thumbs
they
up.
want to know
Subscribe.
about
Is my thumb the right way? I
Thumbs
don't
down
know.
if you don't and tell us why.
Yeah,
Do a
we need
thumbs
to know.
down, tell us why.
If
Absolutely.
If they want to know about any new videos that appear on T4L TV as soon as they appear, then subscribe.
Subscribe, and you'll
Because
get
you'll
notified.
You'll get a notification on your phone, you'll get email or whatever it is that happens with
How it
YouTube,
works.
depending on
Yeah.
how you set up the subscription. And
You won't miss out.
you won't miss anything.
Exactly.
So, I mean, sometimes there might be one that's really technical, you're not interested, but that's okay. Just wait for the
don't
next
have to
edition
watch
that
it.
comes on. So do make sure you do it. If there's anything you think or anyone you'd like us to try and get onto T4L TV, some
Very
comments
good,
cover,
yes.
Pop it in the comments.
Sounds good.
You know what, guys? I've really enjoyed this episode because I've actually learnt some new things. So thank you
Covered a
so
lot of
much for your
areas.
time. If anyone's got anything they'd like to see on our desk as well, we do need to pimp it. We saw another video today that we were trying to mimic a little bit and had a bunch of really cool things
Yes.
on their desk, and they were wearing really awesome hats.
But
We
that
don't
was
have
aimed at
hats.
7-year-olds, so
Well, yes, okay. I am still a 7-year-old
on.
at heart.
I'd like
but-
to be a 7-year-old
Yeah,
again.
exactly. Hence the toys
Especially
that
at
we
my
have on
age.
our desk. Sorry, we're keeping you from whatever you're going to do next. It has been a pleasure. We will see you on episode 3.
Thank you.
T4L
Enjoy.
TV.
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye.